Hey, how's it going everybody? Josh here with Desert Gardens Homestead. So it is turning into spring here in the Sonoran Desert, and I am in front of a cherry bush. And for all those gardeners that live in the desert and you're not able to grow cherries because of the heat, I have found a couple solutions over the years that I've experimented with cherries here in the garden. Cherries are one of those stone fruits that can't really tolerate hot temperatures. They really like the more temperate areas, and so typically anything below zone 9 would be fine for cherries. I'm not sure how low they can go, but I know that they really struggle here in the desert. I've pretty much grown most varieties of cherries, and pretty much all of them have failed except for just a couple. And so for all those desert gardeners out there, I want to give you some hope today, and I want to share with you 2 varieties of cherries that you can put into your garden, and you can grow cherries in hot areas. Stick with me. The first specimen here is a Nan King Cherry. This is a bush, so it's not a tree. This has been in the ground since 2017, so we're in about the 7th year for this bush. And it is just a stunning sight to see here in the spring. I'm actually at the tail end of the flowering of this bush, so I should have probably made this video, maybe a week or so earlier. It was just a stunning piece here, just full of little pink blooms, and now the leaves are starting to come out, but just take a look at the blooms on this bush. And here's a view, and it just sits south of a dwarf mulberry tree here, and it's just right next to my chicken coop, kind of in my high density orchard. I've got about 40 some odd fruit trees just in this small little area. But this is just a beautiful little bush. They don't like to be pruned. I've found that out. They just want to be left alone. And so they make smaller cherries. They're not large cherries like you would buy in the store. They are smaller and they're a little tart, but the longer you leave them on the bush, the sweeter they get. And this is a really great bush to have in your garden. It's very prolific, makes tons of little cherries, and it's just a beautiful tree. So this is the Nan King. I've got about 4 or 5 of these that I've propagated out and spread throughout the location, but this is the mother, and it is now going on heights of about 6 feet tall, 5 to 6 feet, and it might be almost full grown at this point. It doesn't seem like it's growing much larger than what it is. It might grow a little bit more, but this is the Nan King Cherry, and it's an excellent variety for all those desert gardeners. Let me show you one more. All right, well, we're right out in front of my house here on the north side, and this is another little cherry bush here, and it is just covered with the dreaded Bermuda grass, which it absolutely loves because it gives it shade and it gives it a little microclimate here. So I am not afraid to allow the Bermuda grass to live and die and break down and fertilize this little bush. As you can see, it doesn't mind it. Let's just take a look at this little bush here. This is called a sand cherry. This is the Prunus besseyi, and I've had these in the yard now for quite a number of years as well. I've got about 2 or 3 of these spread. This one does stress out in the heat, which is why I've got it on the north side of my house. So I found that this one does stress, and if it's in full sun, if it's in full heat, it won't fruit. But if you put it in some shade here in the desert, it will fruit for you. And this one, you do want a pollination partner for cross-pollination. So if you had 2 of these, that would be ideal. But this is the Prunus besseyi, the sand cherry, sometimes called the Nanking Sand Cherry. And this is another one that does fruit here in the desert. They're smaller berries, and they are also tart, but they are very good. And so these are the 2 cherries that I've been able to grow here successfully in the Sonoran Desert. And I've tried all kinds of cherries. I've heard Lapin's cherry trees would grow here. I've tried 3 or 4 of those over the years in numerous heights, and they've all failed. I've known other gardeners here that have also had issues with Lapin's. That would be the only other suggested cherry tree that would grow here in the hot, arid climate we live in. But I'm here to tell you that unless you have some kind of a microclimate, or you are just a better green thumb than I am, you will probably also struggle. So if you want 2 cherry bushes that are pretty much guaranteed, I would highly recommend the Nan King, because it is just a no-fuss cherry bush and it produces prolific amounts. If you want something a little bit more advanced, you can try the sand cherry, the Prunus speciae, but you will need a microclimate for that, but it will make it. So those are my 2 cherry bush suggestions for all those desert gardeners. I hope this video finds you well. I hope you are blessed, and I surely appreciate you stopping in and checking out this video. Surely appreciate you checking out this channel, and I hope you have a great day. God bless you all. Take care. Bye-bye.